Hey y'all, welcome to Culture Cult. My name's Marie. I am the host of the show, and this is a podcast where I am personally on the mission to cover every country in the world so we can all learn about each other and become less ignorant. So if you're new here, welcome. Hey. If you're a regular, hell yeah. Thanks for coming back. So I have been covering history stories from Mongolia, and to close out our Mongolia series, we are having real life nomads, like real life Mongolian nomads that have decided to come on and let me interview them. So all your questions about eagle hunting and what it's like to live in a gyr, which is the tent they live in, and what it's like to live in the whim of insane nature, that can all be answered today. So I reached out to an Instagram account called @MongolianNomadFamily, and their account's so cool. But I had no idea that these guys are actually like rock stars in their community. They have like millions of followers on Facebook and a huge YouTube channel. But yeah, they decided to come onto the podcast, and it was such a blessing, honestly. I think a reason why they are so popular is because they touch the hearts of so many people that want to reconnect with the Mongolian lifestyle. So there's a lot of Mongolians that live in the city that want to connect back to their roots. There's a lot of people like you and me that live in the city or in these busy places that just want to learn about connecting back to nature and to our roots. And that's a big theme of today's episode. So today we have on Tuk and Buyanaa, who are a married couple. They live with their family in the gyr, and they are truly the kindest souls. So if you just need good energy today, this is your episode. If you are here to learn about the real nomadic lifestyle of Mongolians, this is also your episode. Either way, I hope y'all enjoy.
I grew up as nomads. My parents are herders. And when all Mongolians become a student, we need to go to capital city and meet my husband here. And then we decided to go back to countryside with our children. And we choose to live as a nomads. It's our passion. We love nomadic lifestyle, and we love to teach our kids to live as a nomads, because in our capital city, it's a lot of air pollution and traffic jam, and it's really stressful to raise kids here. So we decided to go back to countryside and make content, start to make contents about them. And all Mongolians love to see nomadic lifestyle.
I think that's why you're so popular, because most of your country probably wants to go back to living like that. People don't like the city.
Half of the population living in our capital city, and even they want, but they doesn't decide to go back. So they want to see what's happening in the countryside, how they are living. Maybe they interested first, have to move back and live as a nomads.
Yeah. So y'all met in the city?
Yeah, I was in university. He was a policeman at that time. I lost my phone at university and went to the police station, and he was the person who charged of my case.
Oh my gosh, I bet you're glad that you lost your phone. That's so beautiful. So where do you said you live in Western Mongolia, but I also saw on your YouTube, you do have a modern house.
Yeah, when we moved back, we decided to build a house near lake.
Haros Lake.
Yeah, Haros Lake, because lake is my birth land. And so I want to live there. And we built our house there. And as we have a gyr and live in gyr too, especially in warm times, we love to live in gyr. And in winter times, sometimes it's hard for kids to fully live in gyr. So in the winter, we live in modern house.
Okay. Because I feel like the winter is pretty harsh.
Yeah, it's really harsh.
Yeah. You said it was negative 40 degrees Celsius. Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. And how many animals do you have? Do you have like horses, cows?
Yeah.
Also sheep, goats, and dogs.
I know, I saw your dog. He's so cute.
Our dogs have to garden our animals, livestock, and helps a lot in nomads lifestyle, because we live in wild nature and sometimes wolves come near. So we need dog to guard us in the night.
Well, your dog is so brave to go against a
Yeah.
wolf. Do you have any special connection with your horses? Or are they mainly for just travel? Or because I know horses are very important to Mongolia.
Mongolian horse is almost in half wild horse. It feeds itself without any assistance of owners. In wintertime, they digging in that ground and find in grasses and
Yeah.
feed itself.
But sometimes, of course, we help to feed in the winter. Yeah. Other times they feed themselves.
Yeah, there is in the western side of Mongolia, it's located in Altai mountain range. That road is very difficult. It's impossible to drive in motorcycles and cars, only using horse.
Wow.
Yeah. And in winter, Mongolians eat a lot of meat. So in fall, we prepare our meats, but we don't like to eat our own horse.
Yeah.
So we buy from the market.
Also in other
Yeah.
families.
Other families sometimes decide to sell horse as a meat, and then we go to the market and buy horse as a meat. But we don't like to eat our own horse.
Okay,
'cause
that's what I was
we
wondering.
already built a relationship with them, and they help us, we help them, so it's like our family member.
Yes.
And also kids love them and ride them. Horses are important to nomadic people, so they all of them don't eat the riding horses.
Okay, that makes more sense. But I also understand, like, you live in a very dramatic place. Like, you need to eat in times like that where it's very cold.
And we eat different foods in every season. Especially in winter, we eat a lot of meat and also fats. In the spring, we eat more like internal organs and dairy products. I started to eat dairy products. Dried meats. In the summer, we don't eat any meats.
Oh.
We only eat, depends on the dairy products and berries and veggies. And fall is our dream season because we eat a lot of vegetables and fruits. Also, we prepare our gut to eat a lot of meat in the winter. So we, in the fall, we drink lots of fermented milks. We are collecting our probiotics to our gut and prepare for the winter, our body. And in the winter, of course, we eat meat, and seasonally we eat differently.
Mongolians feed in 5 different livestock. There's a camel, horse, cows, and sheep and goats. And a lot of them in pasture livestock, they produced in springtime, offsprings. So that started that time we used this milk. Middle of February, the Mongol livestock produced their offsprings, maybe puppies.
It's like the same day as celebration of Lunar New Year. It's Lunar New Year is for Mongolians. It's like spring.
It's coming springtime.
Yeah, we are celebrating spring, overcome the harsh winter. It's like celebration of that.
Yeah. What's like your favorite tradition that's been passed down within your family?
You know that I grew up in Western Mongolia, and Western Mongolia is very special part of Mongolia because all different ethnic groups live together
peacefully.
Wow. It's like all minorities live together, and one of them is my ethnic group, and every ethnic group teach their kids different traditions. For example, my grandmother and my mother taught me our ethnic group's folk dance is when I was 5 years old. And now I'm teaching my daughter to have to dance our folk dance. Yeah, because our folk dance name is Bibilge, and it's not just a dance, it's a kind of combination of dance movement and music and meditation. Every movement has a meaning. And when we dance, our soul must sing for me. It's like a deep connection between human and nature.
Wow.
So we need to, from a young age, to connect with nature and respect it and feel it. It's the main philosophy of folk dance. And nowadays it's disappearing so quickly because a young generation don't want to live in countryside and learn it because that is smartphone and television, we have other choices. I decided to make contents about them and teach other young generation how our dances, BBT is working, and it's reached almost 3 million in Mongolia. Now people are started to learn this.
She influenced a lot of women to teach that dance.
That's so beautiful because you're right. In the moment, the phone is so interesting. But when years and years have passed and you don't get to learn what your mother could have taught you because you weren't paying attention, like that tradition's lost. Like cooking is another tradition, dance, music, those are so important. That's how, because your generation, your family has probably been teaching that dance for a century. I just want to pause right here and just say how important traditions are. If we don't pass down certain things to the next generation or to people in our community, they will be lost forever. And so I think what Buyanaa is doing is so beautiful and so incredibly important. And it's just a reminder to learn your grandmother or your mother's recipes, to learn and teach the dances of your culture, to continue stories that you heard your grandfather tell. Just traditions and connection with our cultures are so important because we do live in a very globalized world today, which I think is great in a lot of ways. But I think the downfall of that is that since we are mixing cultures and so much that we can lose our own heritage. So what Buyanaa is doing by teaching not just her children, but the world Mongolian dances, she's helping all the Mongolians that live in Ulaanbaatar, the Mongolians that live in Russia, the Mongolians that live in China. She's helping them connect back to their roots by teaching them their dances. And so I just think that's really, really beautiful and just a reminder to yourself to connect back to your roots as much as possible and to share your culture. I also asked them questions throughout the interview about what it was like living in the gear with their entire family, but I just realized there's no point in me describing the gear to y'all. So I really recommend going to their YouTube and checking out what it's like to live in the tent. So I will drop the link in the show notes for y'all also if you want to check that out. Okay, now back to the show.
Every season we move.
Wow.
But depends on the land. We sometimes move 2 times, 3 times. The maximum is 4 times a year. Because when our livestock need some
grass, new grass,
so they graze to go to the grass.
Pasture livestock follow where is in
grass.
Nice grass.
Yes.
So we follow them to move. Yeah,
it makes sense.
Every season, its land changes. You know that the grass changes too. Most of the nomadic people move 3 to 4 times a year. Yeah. Our land is near a river, so grass is lot. So sometimes we just 2 times a year move to another place.
Pasture is big problem in Mongolia.
Yeah.
Because in the last year, our government counted our whole country's livestock. It's reached 90 million livestock in Mongolia, whole Mongolia.
Wow.
And our population is only
3 million 500. Livestock's 900. It's a big problem.
Yeah, because of that pasture its grass deficiency is. Yeah. And
recently, a lot of inheritors decide they feed their livestock. Maybe so they themselves grew every grasses in next to their homes. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's a solution. Maybe.
Yeah.
The best solution to them.
Yes, and I also was looking up that when cashmere started getting very popular, that a lot of nomads started switching from goats to sheep, or maybe it was vice versa.
Yeah.
But
sheep to goats.
Sheep to goats, but the goats eat grass more, and it's causing causing a huge problem.
Yeah. Yes, but that's true.
I just learned that, and I was like, wow! I just the scarves that we have over here. Just I want to wear a cashmere scarf, and I don't realize that it's affecting. The amount of grass. Land. That's just a big lesson to be conscious of.
Species is called camel. Camel is the only animal not affect the grass or land because they eat different desert herbs,
Yes.
grasses,
Wow.
and they eat small. Even they are big, but they eat small and they're not affecting the grass.
Friendly livestock to pasture.
Oh, are
Yeah.
they?
And also their milk is more nutritious than other species. So they're so cute animals.
And also, it's possible to milk in camels during whole entire year.
So calm and peaceful animal, and
Oh
we
my
love
gosh.
their milk.
Mongolian traditional sheep, goats, and cows, they stop their milk in autumn time.
Special,
Wow.
Yeah,
autumn time.
winter time it's possible in milk, but the camels is possible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whole year. Okay. Yes.
I've never seen a camel before. I always thought they were scary because they, on the videos I've seen of the Egyptian ones, they're usually angry. So, but I don't know. It seems like the camels in Mongolia are really nice. Like you said, they're very sweet.
Camel is very gentle livestock.
Oh,
Yeah, we have tradition that play traditional instrument. When we play traditional instrument and to camel, and sometimes they cry for
Oh my God.
listening the music.
It's a real tradition, and sometimes, and some female camel doesn't want to milk to their offspring puppies. At that time, that we use instrument.
Yeah, traditional instrument to soften their heart, and when they listen the music and they cry and decided to take their offspring.
Yes.
It's like our nomadic tradition, used to some camels. Yeah.
Okay, so when I was researching about Mongolia, I heard so much about horses in Mongolia, the wild horses. And I knew about the camels, but I didn't know about them. Like, I didn't know they were sweet. I didn't know they were sweet like that. If you know me, I have a bad record with wild animals. I have been bit by a monkey. I have been bucked off horses. Like, I just am not, I don't know. I love animals, but I don't know if they like me. So at least wild animals, at least. So I've always had this kind of fear of camels because I always see the ones, at least the ones in Egypt and Morocco, they seem kind of low-key aggressive. But that's what surprised me is when they said that the camels in Mongolia are so sweet and that they cry with the music and just how important the camels are to them. But now let's get into something not so sweet, but also something huge in Mongolian culture. Let's talk about eagle hunting. I definitely would love to talk about the eagle hunting because that has been the biggest thing people have been very interested in. Do you know anyone that hunts with eagles?
Main hunters live in Western Mongolia. 3 provinces include in Western Mongolia: Obs, Hopt, Bayingulgi. In Hopt and Bayingulgi, they live in a lot of eagle hunters, our neighbors. And I decided to feed in eagles in coming spring. One of our older eagle hunters teach me how I feed that in eagle.
One of the interesting fact is that we only catch female eagle to hunt and feed them.
Yeah. In tradition, they choose in female eagle because a female eagle is bigger than a male eagle. And only if I want to hunt, use that eagle for hunt, I choose an adult female eagle in the wild and go to mountains. That eagle in nest only in higher mountains in peak. Older eagle hunters that know where is in strong in adult a female eagle live. So we go to that mountain. It's spending several days hiking that peak of in high mountains, and we choose that eagle. We use some of catch and
how do you do that?
How we catch that eagle that next to their nest, and we tie it in some of the little birds and legs and next to that nest, and eagle catch that birds. We use that in net.
You like prompt it to come and then you capture it with a net.
Most of them use adult eagles,
Yeah, it does.
Because if the eagle grew up and they are wild and then catch it to human, and this eagle is
strong
enough
it's
to
the best
catch.
hunter.
Yeah.
They become.
Yeah.
If you choose that in offspring small, it's
weaker hunters because not learned to have to hunt.
How to hunt in the, and live in harsh conditions.
Yeah. Some of eagle hunters choose offspring of the eagle to just take picture for some tourists. Just show.
Yeah. Recently, usually a lot of in that eagle hunters choosing offspring just in and show them in using festivals, eagle festivals.
Okay.
And few eagle hunters, they have
just really
the best eagle hunters, hunting eagles.
So you said most of the time they are using the eagles for show, but there are still eagle hunters out there that use the eagles to hunt like wolves and rabbits.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Because that tourist is only interested in see eagle and take picture with them. And even strong and wild eagles are sometimes it's dangerous to humans because their instinct is hunt something.
Wow.
It's very dangerous there. Today is a few eagle hunters live in remote in nature.
Because their life is dependent on their hunting. Yeah. And they survive with eagle hunting, but I think usually don't show to tourists yet. Yeah, maybe
they only use for hunting their eagles. Yeah, especially that village eagle hunters, they use that eagles for that festivals and shows.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that makes a lot of sense though, because the actual hunting eagles should not be around big crowds or livestock or people. Like they're wild. That makes a lot of sense. And they do let the eagles go at some point, right? Isn't there like a ceremony where I've just watched something where they do let the eagles go at some point. They don't always keep them.
It depends on that owners.
Okay.
If that owner trained their eagle its best, it's come back.
But not well-trained eagles always wanted to go to their home. And when they have a small chance to go away, they always decide to go away.
If you feed it a lot,
they're strong enough to go away.
Oh.
Food is on the trick to keeping them. But if owners don't feed them and only give small meat, they decided to come back or stay with the owner.
Only in the wintertime, they're for hunting.
Yeah.
In summertime, they feed a lot of meat to that eagle. In summertime, eagles are bigger, stronger.
Yeah, I saw it was the Mongolian eagle is the largest in the world. I read that.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yeah. They are female eagles.
The females are. Okay.
The knowledge of hunting with eagles is passed down to only a generation. It's kept secret with them, only father to son or grandfather to son. So it's tradition.
Yeah, tradition.
But he decided to learn eagle hunting, and only fall season we catch eagles.
Coming in autumn, I decided to catch eagle. Now I feed that hunting dog, a Mongolian Aboriginal hunting dog. It's called tag dog.
Always eagle and dog is always work together.
How do they work together?
First, that dog come to that animal, an animal escape.
Oh.
That eagle can see that.
See that.
After that. Yeah.
That's so true. And this is actually a question. I asked my listeners if they have any questions. And this is a question from my listener, Kyle. He says, how do you train them to go after the wolf?
Yeah.
If you want to hunt that wolf, you need a bigger, that offspring bigger and a wild female eagle. Yeah.
Wow.
The owner choose the eagle to how they are hunting. That offspring didn't learn to hunt something. But the bigger eagles, which raised in the wild, they already learned to have to hunt. The owner choose to catch that eagle. It's really good hunter. They choose to catch that eagle and then they use for hunting. Yeah.
How do you make sure the eagle comes back? How do you make sure it doesn't fly away?
If they are not hungry enough,
they
always flew away.
Like they don't fly. Don't hunt any animals. if you're very hungry, that
they hunt. And before they eat, the owner catch the eagle and hunt animals too.
Okay.
But before eating that animal.
Okay.
So they are hungry enough to come back to the
hungry.
owner. I think it's feeding is the most important part of the owner who train the eagle.
Like it's a hunting dog. If you feed a lot of feed to your hunting dog, they can't hunt. It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That helped me a lot because I had a lot of people asking about the eagle hunting and that helped me. So I wanted to ask you, okay, you've lived in the city before and then now you choose to live in nature. How can the rest of the world that lives in cities learn from y'all to reconnect with nature again? Do you find it important to do that?
The most important lesson I've learned is that when you live in the nature, your spirit becomes stronger. Your heart become calmer, and we had connection with the nature. Humans' home is nature.
Yeah, we are humans in one type of creature, we think. Our real home is not this apartment house. Our real home is nature. If every person in alone maybe go to their in nature, wild wilderness, we feel a little
uneasiness first.
How cold is we feel that it's our real home. Every Sunday, I alone go to mountain and wild. I can't decide any problem. I need that nature, universe can give me answer. We far from that nature, our homes, real homes. So we can't connect that nature today, I think. That nomadic people, nomadic lifestyle, it's connected easily that nature.
Even nomadic life is dependent on the nature, that it's our livestock is eating grass, and nomadic people, especially Mongolians, believe that everything in nature has a spirit, mountain, river, land.
So we honor that.
Yeah. Everything has a spirit. So we always honor that and respect it. And we have tradition to sprinkle of milk to the nature. And every day we give to something to nature, because it's like we are showing our deep appreciation to the nature by feeding us and helping our two livestock. And it's like the main philosophy and main beautiful thing is that human and nature connection. And when we live in the nature, we much calmer and not stressful and more happy. Just walking in the nature and living in a gear is like a whole meditation for us.
Yes.
And also our kids are more healthy and healthier and happier.
Yeah. People is smaller beside that nature. So every person from your heart respecting nature, treat ourselves in peaceful way.
I totally agree. When I think of the happiest times in my life, it's always been when I've been camping, when I've had less, I actually was just learning something that all this technology lowers our frequency from Earth. And when we go back out in nature, we match the frequency of Earth. But this lowers it. And that's why if you watch too much TV, if you're on your phone too much, you get irritated and angry. And
sad.
Yes. Do you find a difference of that when you live in your modern home? Do you find like your family dynamic is even different? Do you feel like your family might be even happier when you go to the gear? Or do you like living in the modern home?
Yes, gear is the old materials are natural. It's like sheep wool and tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wood. And when we eat meal in the gear, our kids much happier and calmer. Just we are living, just sitting in the nature, and all frequency is much higher. But even we are living in the nature, our sitting in the house, all kids want to go their own room and play by themselves. But in gear is just one circle, and always see each other's face
together.
And it's like human communication are much. A family is like connecting much, even with themselves. Maybe it's a round area or it's a small circle, maybe.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And I'm noticing a trend when I interview people who live in nature. that they say that they depend on each other. So I just interviewed a friend from Alaska, and she says, I don't care about my neighbor's political views, or we don't agree on some things, but they're always there to help me. And I think when we just are in nature, we're just more in tune with each other. The little things don't matter. That's so beautiful. And I have another question from a listener. She said, what do you wish more people knew of in your culture?
I think a lot of other foreign people don't know where is located Mongolia. Which country is it? Mongolia located between Russia and China. Yeah, Mongolia is bordered only Mongol nations, because our border and outside border in China side, a lot of Mongol people live there. They're part of China today. It's called Indian Mongol. In the Russian side, it's also Mongol people live in outside our border. It's called Burat, Toa, Altai people live. Its culture is the same. We same people. You heard that in the 13th century in Mongolia, Genghis Khan established a big empire. Today, that empire is inside Russia and China. So only Mongolians, we today keep our small land. I think. If you want to see Mongolian culture, come to our place, because in our country, keep our all of cultures and traditions still today. So our country is independent and democratic country. So everyone wants to come to our country. Also, our country, we use our native Mongol language. Chinese Mongols use Chinese language. And Russian Mongols today can't talk in their native language. They lost the Mongolian native language. They only use Russian language today. It's a big problem, I think.
Yeah, but sometimes they come to Mongolia and meet with us and talk about their situation.
Yeah, and recently that the young generation, especially Russian and Mongol people, come to here. They want, and they learn that Mongolian culture from us.
When we make contents about the Mongolian traditions, nomadic lifestyle, and many people ask about, is you guys always eating milk and meat? They think that there's a lot of meat. And do you know that my profession is nutritionist?
I know, I heard.
A lot of recent trends is going vegan or just eating a lot of vegetables. But in our case, eating seasonally is really important to our health, because every season is changing. So we need to change because we are living in the wild nature. So we need to follow what nature says or what nature is give us. And sometimes people wonder that lactose intolerant people are very lot in nowadays. But sometimes I saw that our milk is like grass-fed animal's milk. And sometimes lactose intolerant people, when they come to our home and drink some yogurt or drink some camel fermented milk or horse fermented milk, kumis, they don't react to any intolerance. I think that's maybe method of making or re-fermenting the milk, or just because our grass-fed milks are maybe a little bit different from farmers come to our home. They really enjoy camel's fermented milk because they really enjoyed it and want to drink even more. Camel's milk is different. The nutrients is totally different than cow and goats. So maybe your listeners want to come to Mongolia. I suggest that just try camel's fermented milk. You're going to love it.
Do people come to you and meet you often? Or do you provide tours at all?
We are building a culture and tourist center now. And from this summer, from June, we're going to work. We started to work and invite tourists to our camp. You will sleep in here. It's like about Mongolian traditional lifestyle. So you can come to us and live as a nomadic, but not harsh like you see in our videos. Because sometimes we realize that foreign people sometimes they don't smell the wool of our gear, because order is really unfamiliar to them. So we decided to build gear,
Inconvenient.
modern style gear, but it's gear and its smell and other stuffs are much less.
Yeah. And if you come to our that center, you wear that our traditional clothing. You feel that.
No matter
what you want about the nomadic lifestyle, all of things there, milk and cows, camels, and everything, and gathered there.
Gathered our tourist camp, so you can experience any nomadic things here.
That sounds like a dream.
Many Mongolians who live in city now want to teach their kids how nomads living and learn from them. And we decided to like traditional camp. And every people who want to experience nomadic lifestyle can come to us and feel it and live with us.
Using a lot of
days, maybe.
Mongolian livestock is totally different other nations and farm livestock. Because only maybe today is in Mongolia, our livestock feed that herbs in the wild. So that's a reason that in meat and milks is totally different. I read about your country's history that Native American people's lifestyle is the same to us. I think.
Similar.
It is. My last question is about, do you know anything about the mysterious killer Gobi worm that is in the Gobi Desert? Do y'all talk about that often? Is that a myth that you know of?
Ghost? Gobi worm.
Killer Gobi worm.
Can you explain it?
Yes.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So I looked up myths or lores from Mongolia, and apparently there's a killer Gobi worm it's 2 feet long. If you look at it, you could die. If it spits on you, you could die. And it travels underground in the desert. Some people say it exists, and then a lot of people say it doesn't exist. But I didn't know if your family or if you ever heard of anyone talking about the Gobi worm, but it's in the Gobi Desert.
Is it true or false? What do you think? What do you think? Is it true? What's
maybe
your point of view?
It's only mystery, I think.
People don't see that yet. Yeah. Gobi is south of Mongolia.
South part of Mongolia.
Our land is western, and we have a lot of peak mountains. Our myths are different.
What myths do you have?
Near our home, we have Ice Mountain.
Yeah, and peak. There's
peak is always ice, and we have a mountain. And some people say that this mountain has some spirit, a spirit who protect that mountain, or who protect that all the animals live in that mountain. Some people say that they meet that spirit. Its shape is white
and snow leopard.
Snow leopard.
Oh.
Its shape is like white snow leopard, and if you see that, you have to pray for that and don't look at that animal. Or just if you see snow leopard, no one dare to kill or shoot that animal, because if someone make bad things to them, their entire family generationally destroyed.
Whoa.
It's like even sometimes snow leopards live there and take some of livestock from the herder and eat it. We just respect and honor that.
Yeah.
Don't dare to fight back, because the leopards only take one animal, not more than one. Only one animal. So we give as an appreciation to that animal. Yeah, offering. We think that snow leopard, because this mountain's spirit is snow leopards, so we should respect snow leopards. Also, one myth about Gobi is that its Gobi families live always together. It's like far from each other. So always 2 or more than gear exists in Gobi. But if you travel into Gobi and see only one gear, don't enter that gear. Yeah, Gobi ghost. Gobi ghost.
Gobi ghost gear.
Yeah. It's like maybe 50 years ago, some movie making crew going in the Gobi Desert, and they encountered that one gear and went to that gear because these people come from UB city, so they don't know much about the Gobi.
Oh.
And they went to that gear, and few years they all died. I think.
Excuse me? What?
Every place in Mongolia, there is in some part of its this mystery, and the
Yeah.
people afraid to go there. In our mountains, the same. Maybe some part of it's very dangerous. People think that and respect and afraid of that part, not go there. For instance, our that centrist place in next to the place in only one tree it grown in that rocky mountains. It's maybe a hard place, mystery place, and some ethnic group people can go there, especially the Kazakh Mongol people afraid that part of land.
Its frequency is much higher than human.
Yeah, energy maybe it's
frequency,
hard.
yeah.
Maybe they go there in especially in night during the night they feel that in some strange energy
Yeah.
to them.
Wow.
So that is maybe afraid.
Yeah. You know that when we live in the nature, we realize that some of the nature frequency is different than others.
Yeah.
And when you feel that, you need to go away for that part of a land because it just exists that way. So we just don't need to encounter it or make something about it. Just it exists. So just go away and protect yourself. And our frequency, our even spirit can feel that. And when we living in the nature, we much high sense to that. We train ourselves to
and respect from heart.
Feel that
That's a place to treat us in peaceful, I think. I can go in during the night in alone at that mountain, and city people can't alone. They afraid. One night I alone went to that in strange mystery place alone. How I feel, what and the energy I feel, it's interesting to me.
Wow.
During night I go there and I feel some of any strange energy and sound. If your thoughts, you don't talk about bad thoughts and you thought only good thoughts and go there. This place is peaceful to me. And if you go to any in bad thoughts, you don't want to hunt in animals, you only thought in peaceful thought.
The Mongolians believe that mountains has spirits. So if you think peaceful thoughts and
grateful them,
for them, and that spirit feeds you and not harm you. If you think that bad thoughts and thinking like hunting animals or taking something from
and collect any stones
from taking something from the nature,
Oh my gosh,
that
yes.
nature feeds you and treats you
differently. They protect them, I think.
That is so true. To never take a rock from a spiritual place. It's so true. Okay, I'm dead serious when I say this. Don't take rocks from spiritual places, specifically national parks, or if you feel like that place has energy. That shit is no joke. I took a rock from a very spiritual place called Big Sur in California. And there were also signs for me not to take the rocks. And yet I took a rock. And I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I just want to say that absolute chaos ensued until I returned the rock. I definitely told this story in the first season. It's called Big Sur Ghost Story. If you want to hear about what happened when I took that rock. Forewarning, I recorded that episode like years ago. It was my first season. I definitely didn't know what I was doing. So just be aware of that when you listen to the episode, but still that story is freaking crazy. And it is so true to not take rocks from spiritual places. There even is a show called Dead to Me. And the whole premise of that show is that this chaos was happening to this girl's life because apparently her boyfriend took a rock from a national park. So that shit is real, y'all.
But the interesting thing is that when we live in near mountain a long time and peacefully with the spirit, that mountain receives us as a family member and it starts to protect us. It's one of their members. It's like beautiful and feels safe. Even when we living in the wilderness, it's like feels safe because frequency is felt that way. People always ask us, do you afraid to living in the wilderness? But after a few years, we like even more safe than ever, even in the city.
First time and go to wilderness during that nighttime, first time they will feel a little afraid and strange in energy.
Uneasiness, yeah. Maybe that spirit is wondering what kind of person is
come to us,
coming, what that person is thinking and doing to the nature, maybe. So we feel that first time when we go to wilderness, it's like tasting each other. Like
you go there, and the second time, third time, that's in wilderness, that nature, and
started to know you.
You can't feel that energy. Wow. So that everything has an honor, and spirit is honored. It's true that.
It makes so much sense. I feel uneasy in the forest, but maybe if I go into the forest with relaxed and positive, it'll start feeding that energy back into me. That's very true. But then there's places I've gone to many times and I feel so comfortable there. I feel very comfortable in the desert. I love the desert. I feel good there.
If you come to Mongolia and go to the desert, you will see a lot of camels.
Oh my
if you come to our province, in Hope province, in south part of our province is Gobi.
Yeah, and
there is in real animals.
Yeah, wow. Gobi bear. And you know that Gobi energy is much calmer. Even people who live in Gobi is much calmer to us. And so maybe the camels live in Gobi, so camels are much calmer and peaceful animals. So it's because of the land energy, human and other animals become like this.
That's so true. Because you were saying that camels are very relaxed. That's their environment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I want to come. How far ahead should someone book just in case someone is interested in coming to visit you?
You can write to us just in Instagram message or Facebook message.
This has been such a special interview. I want to thank you so much for answering my message on Instagram. And I just think that you as people, I can feel your energy even through this tiny little screen that I'm looking at you from. I can tell you are beautiful people and beautiful parents. And I'm going to share all of your information. Do you want to share your YouTube or maybe your Facebook and your Instagram? And I'll also link it in the show notes.
It's Mongolian Nomad family. YouTube and Instagram is the same.
Okay, so if y'all want to continue to follow Yuk and Buyanaa, just type in Mongolian Nomad Family on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Again, their YouTube is so special. It is so relaxing and calming. If you just want to de-stress, just type in Mongolian Nomad Family on YouTube and you'll be super happy. I'll also have that in the show notes. I just want to give a personal thanks to Yuk and Buyanaa for coming onto the podcast because they are such beautiful people. And I just feel like their energy from miles away of just joy and kindness, and we also just had a good time together. So I really appreciate them coming on, and I also hope y'all got to learn a lot more about Mongolian culture and actually get to hear what the energy of the people are like there, which it seems like a very chill country. Despite the insane terrain and weather, it seems like the people there are just good people, just good souls. And just recording with them was such a pleasure and a blessing because, you know, when you just come across someone and you're like, you're so special. And I hope the world just cherishes you. That's how I felt after meeting Yuk and Buyanaa. So I'm super appreciative that they got to come on, and I hope that y'all enjoyed getting to learn more about Mongolia. So with that said, thank y'all for listening. Share this episode with anyone you think needs some kindness, some laughter, some love in their life, and who is interested in Mongolian culture. Cheers till next time, y'all.